Good morning, Chairman Schwertner and members of the committee. My name is Dimple Patel, and I'm a Senior Policy Analyst with TexProtects, the Texas Association for the Protection of Children, testifying in support of Senate Bill 497. In 2016 alone, we lost 1,543 caseworkers, and in the first quarter of 2017, turnover in every position at CPS increased, and supervisor turnover reached a record high of 13%. Caseworker turnover is one of the most crippling issues facing our child welfare system. It costs us money, and worst of all, it can contribute to poor outcomes for children. While we've addressed one of the biggest contributors of turnover, which is caseworker salaries, other factors like poor hiring decisions, high caseloads, issues with supervision, and a punitive culture are going to be more challenging issues to address. By elevating the workforce division and adding an analytical component to it that directly reports to the commissioner, we can ensure that critical data relating to turnover is transparently reported. One of the key components of this division will be to analyze why caseworkers leave through exit surveys. Exit surveys are very important to guiding our hiring efforts, training, and management practices. By completing a more individualized exit survey specific to CPS, we'll be better able to identify why caseworkers are actually leaving. This office will also prevent turnover crises like the one that occurred in Dallas from occurring in the future. And from reaching a critical point. In just 2 quarters or 6 months, turnover for investigative caseworkers in Dallas County last year rose to 57% just in 6 months. And so that's what created a crisis in Dallas County, and that's what we want to prevent by elevating this office. Many times when staffing crises like what occurred in Dallas happen, it's usually not related to one specific issue, and this workforce division will be able to conduct an in-depth analysis specific to a county or region, and hopefully poor management practices can be identified much sooner before crises like that occur. And lastly, this office will serve as a neutral and safe place for a caseworker to file a management complaint. As a caseworker of 9 years, my hands often felt tied when it came to these kinds of issues, and because of fear of retaliation, and this will create a neutral and safe place for caseworkers to come to. In order to change the punitive culture you hear so many caseworkers talk about, we must make sure that their voices are heard and valued. We feel that this office will provide transparency and support for caseworkers in this area. Thank you very much for your time and consideration today.
Thank you, Ms. Patel. Tell me, you testified just now in your 9 years that your hands often felt tied, and can you elaborate on that from
absolutely.
How the agency and working within that environment made your hands feel tied?
So oftentimes directives will come down from a program administrator or a program director, and if you're not able to meet those goals, whether that's because of workload issues or other issues, you often have to go, if you're having a management issue or a human resources issue, you have to go through what's called the chain of command, and so you have to talk to your supervisor about how they are infringing upon human resources issues. And so it creates a complicated situation when you're having to go to your boss to complain about your boss. And we're not saying that all caseworkers are complaining, but we want to create a safe place for caseworkers to go when things go awry.
So the environment can engender certain conflicts of interest or conflicts within the actual agency. I'm bringing this up because Senate Bill 11 and case management functions, there's been some pushback regarding case management staying within the agency. However, the agency itself has certain inherent conflicts and that can engender conflicts of interest, and it also, of course, is remote from where the child is being cared for, with less of an individualized plan of care, which would be envisioned under Senate Bill 11, for instance, regarding a local buy-in by a not-for-profit that has a vested interest in child welfare or a local governmental entity. It too can have conflicts of interest, but there's not balance, but there's competing conflicts of interest that can be engendered at the state level too from
Absolutely.
State employees.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you. Any questions?